to another episode of It's My Money. My name is Patrina Dixon, your money coach, and I'm so excited. We're extending our episode on savings, and I have two wonderful young people here with me today. Each of them have worked with me in different channels, but both with the same result, and that is increasing their savings and doing well by their money. So first with me, I have Mr. Cameron Tillman. Cameron is an 8th grader at Sage Park Middle School in Windsor, Connecticut, and he will be graduating this year. And Cam saves his money, he pays tithes, he does, as soon as he gets his money, the first thing he wants to do is make sure he puts some away. Cam is also a 2-year scholarship recipient of the Litchfield Jazz Camp. So I'll have Cam talk a little bit about himself in just a moment. I also have Amaya Harris. Hi, Amaya.
Hello.
Amaya, oh my gosh, I met this young woman 2 years ago. She was a part of the YWLC Summer Leadership Program, and through working with me and learning various different financial concepts, she too is doing well with her money. So she's going to tell you all the great stuff about her. She's a freshman at Bay Path University, and she is an entrepreneur. So you now know why I have the two of them sitting here with me today. So first, I'll start with Amaya. Amaya, tell the audience a little bit more about yourself.
Hi everybody, my name is Amaya Harris. As Ms. Dixon mentioned, I'm a student at Bay Path University where I'm double majoring in business administration and marketing. I'm the co-founder of Empower Connections with my mom, where we're helping people learn about public speaking skills. Let's see, what else? I like art, I like music, and I like theater, stuff like that. And I've been enjoying my time at Bay Path, just getting involved in a lot of different clubs, testing things out, like being a part of Women in Business Club, Habitat for Humanity. So I'm just making the most of my time there.
See why I have her on? Just, oh my gosh, amazing young woman. So, and then I have Cameron Tillman. Cameron, tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Currently, I am participating in the Sage Park Jazz Band and also the Charter Oak Funky Dogs community band, where I was able to win the scholarship to Litchfield Jazz Camp and also be able to attend 2 years. Hopefully this will be the third. And I've been working with Miss Dixon for over a couple years now, and I have learned, better saving habits and things along the lines of saving and learning to better my money skills.
Awesome. Another great student being here. Cameron Tillman went through my It's My Money book club, and he was one of the best students. He had great ideas about what he wanted to do with his money, and I think he also talked about starting his own business with gaming, but that's a different topic. So today, both of you I know, after speaking with you and why I have you as guests on the show, told me that you learned about money and about things that you weren't learning in school about money. Tell me one of the things that you took away from working with me from the book club, Cameron, that you still do today.
Well, when I was in the book club, I would learn, every time I would get money, whether it's $10, whether it's $100, I would learn to put something away, whether it's out of the 100, I would put 20 away out of 10, maybe even just 5. Everything adds up in the end. So, whenever I'm saving money, I would always put it in a bank somewhere, or I would, just put it to the side so later on I could use it so that I could, so it could go towards something.
Love it, love it, love it. And then same with you, Amaya. Tell me one of the things that you remember from, working with you over the summer of the past 2 years in the finance class with the YWLC. Yes.
Well, it's hard to pick just one, but I'd say one of the biggest things was just thinking ahead and just what I'm spending my money on. So not being so quick to make that purchase and thinking about, okay, no need to get books for this next semester, so I need to make sure I have money set aside, which I actually kind of learned the hard way, as well as I get reminded of that lesson when there's a trip to the Big E, and there's so many different vendors there, and I was very excited. And I actually got this bracelet while I was there, but what happened was I had this cute bracelet, but no food, because I didn't save money aside, so I had this cute bracelet watching everyone else eat, and I was starving.
I love it. Yeah. So and that's the great thing. I know I told both of you this and others that were in the classes with you all that sometimes you're going to fall off, right? Sometimes you may not be able to stay to your budget, or the saving the amount, like you said, sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 10. Sometimes you're not going to be able to save the amount that you had thought you would, but the point is that you're always doing it and always thinking about it. Because at the end of the day, that's what happens, is that you think, okay, should I have? Because if you didn't have any teaching or training about doing it, then you just frivolously do it. So that's good to hear from both of you. So so what are you saving for? Do you have a big purchase that you put your money aside for that you're trying to achieve?
Well, as I mentioned, I'm doing a lot with music now, so one day I would want to be able to buy my own music equipment, mostly being a trombone, and trombones run for expensive amounts, especially like brand new ones. So one day I would hopefully want to save up for to get a brand new one, and be able to purchase my own other equipment, whether it being audio, whether it being instruments, whether it being whatever I need. I would just put money aside always, just to want to buy it towards that big purchase.
Yeah, I love it. And what I hear you saying too is when I get my income from wherever that is, that I'm not gonna not spend, but I'm gonna save some for that bigger purchase, and then use whatever you didn't save to do the other things. So that's great. And same about you. So I know you, Miss Entrepreneur. I love it. So there's a financial component to entrepreneur. So how did you, being a young lady blossoming first year in college, and then have the entrepreneurial mindset? I know you were even an entrepreneur before you moved on to college. So talk to me how money played a role in that whole entrepreneurial journey.
Well, I'd say definitely, because I'm starting to go out more being in this entrepreneurial role, I had to definitely save up for nice suits and stuff like that, and I have to save more to make sure I look right, so I present my business well. So I think that was a big thing. But there's also trying to make sure I still save aside money for school supplies, because books are very, very, very expensive. So
you heard that here, right?
Very expensive. So I'd say that's another thing I'm saving up for, but also just times, because I do enjoy going on the trips with Bay Path University, so I want to make sure I have money set aside to enjoy myself with my friends.
Okay, great. And that's all. So as you, if you've watched the segment before this, saving is one, making sure you do it, making sure if you can automate it, and making sure you do it every time you get income. It's not intended for you to not do things you like doing, like going on your activities, like in addition to saving for your trombone, maybe going out and having a Dippin' Dots with your friends or with your mom or your friends. So that's what I'm trying to show here with these two students, is that they have learned that you can still do things you like to do, but the first thing you have to do is pay yourself first. So tell us more about, okay, when you get your money, do you right away go and put it in the bank, or do you put it like somewhere in your house and then later on go put it in the bank?
Well, most times when I receive any amount of money, I would always I'm always quick to think, what can I spend this on first? But I always remember back to when I was in the book club, you would always talk about put it away for something. Put maybe $5 away. You can get snacks and something maybe when you're at school, and then the rest away for when maybe you go on like a trip, like Amani was saying, and because things like that, because those are really important things. Like when you're going on trips, you want to be able to eat, but you also want to be able to buy things for yourself, especially when you're going to the Big E with big vendors and things like that. And so whenever I get money, I'm always quick, to want to buy something, but I'm also quick to think, let me put some of this away, and, so I can think about bigger things, as I said before.
I love it. And then now you're on college campus, and that's a huge expense. And what I heard you said a couple times, which I'm like, oh my gosh, did you hear? As a parent, it's great to hear. Books are expensive. So it's not like, Mom, you got to buy my books. It's like, I got to save some of the money that I'm earning to contribute towards, my education. So I, number one, love hearing that. So those are expenses that you may not have expected or know the magnitude of
Exactly.
them. So how are you adjusting to that? Because this what is this? This is April, so you're almost done with your first year. How did you adjust to? I got on. I got into college. Now I'm here. I got my business going on. But these books, oh my gosh, and I can imagine the cost of your books because you're probably in like the best classes ever. So like, how did you adjust? Because I know walking onto the campus, it was probably a little overwhelming. So talk to about your adjustment to going on, and then how you adjusted with money as you learned what their everyday expenses would be.
So I'd say the way I was able to adjust was just spending my money only when I really had to. I say so, like understanding the want versus the need.
Did you hear that here? Want versus need.
Very
Really
important.
understanding the difference between the two. Thank you for bringing that in.
Yeah, because for example, we recently had a gala at my school, which is basically like prom. But I realized, well, I can't spend money on an entirely new dress. So I just recycled the dress that I wore to my high school prom because it's a bunch of new people. So it's like it's a whole new outfit, basically.
Love that.
So just
Love
things
that.
like that. Like deciding when I really need to spend my money and just like making good choices about that.
Yeah, and let me tell you, the same dress with a different shoe, different bag, different hairdo can be totally different.
Exactly.
So I love that. And you said one of the great points is a different set of people.
Exactly.
So love that. Absolutely love that. So now that you're learning about books, are you buying books new, or do you know about the fact that you can rent them and turn them back in? Are you taking advantage of that?
Yes, pretty much all of my books are rented and they're also paperback.
Okay.
So that's the way I save money. I also found that even the online books aren't that expensive, so I usually go for those as well if I can.
All right. So that's and I'm hoping you all hear this. So those that may be aspiring to go to college soon or entering into college next year. So there are various different ways for which you can cut back on expenses. So it's great to have a book that nobody's written in before. But if the book is in good condition and it's online or used, those are the avenues that you want to go down, and that will cut your expenses tremendously. And then for the money that you save, so you look at how much a new book would cost, how much a used or online version, the difference between the two becomes your savings or becomes your food at the Big E. Right. So you got to look for other ways. So I know, Cameron, you worked last summer and probably will again this upcoming summer, and you secured that job on your own, which was great. How did that help with your overall both spending and savings?
So when I first got the job, so I was going in, in the morning, and then every Saturday, maybe, I would receive, and when I would receive, I would put the money in my wallet, and then by the time I got home, at least $5 was gone because there was a store nearby, so I would always go and get at least a snack or two, and so by the time I got home, I would put my wallet or whatever in my dresser where I keep it, and then so the next day I would ask my mom, Mom, can we go down to the bank? I just want to put a little bit aside, so that, like I said before, the big purchases when they come in the future, I could, I would be ready to buy those things, and when and then after that I would have money in my wallet, and that's what I would, I would do the spend. I would spend that on, the small stuff, like when I would go out with my friends or when I would go to church or whatever, I would always have money to be able to spend.
Love that. And you also, so talk to me about, I know you worked in tell the audience, you worked for Aetna and who you worked for, like your actual role at Aetna, because you had a decent a great position for a young woman of your age, and how you worked through when you received your income from there.
Thank you. So yes, I did work with Aetna. I was a summer intern, and I was in OPR, which is Operational Planning and Reporting. And my job was basically to just track the goals of the departments in Aetna and make sure they're staying on task with them. So that was in a nutshell, that was what I was doing. And I was able to get an account with Windsor Federal, and so I had, when I would get paid, I'd have them just put the money automatically into my account. But what I had them do was put half into my checkings and half into my savings, so I'd automatically have some money put aside, and I would only touch the checkings and never the savings, because that was for books.
Yes, and then what does Ms. Dixon call putting money automatically into your savings?
Fire.
Yes, and wait, what do you call it when you do it first? When you're doing what? paying yourself
Paying
first.
yourself first.
Yes, exactly right, exactly right. So I know, Cameron, when you were getting money, it wasn't like the paycheck where you can do directly there, but
Right.
you essentially was doing the same. You were putting it aside so that you wouldn't spend it outside of your wallet. So
Right,
that's
right.
great. So I love, and if you didn't hear that, for those of you that are getting paid, we're getting direct deposit, you can automatically have money go into your savings. The percentage that you put in there is up to you, so you need to do what you can afford, because you still have to pay your bills or your expenses. So you can have a portion, either a certain set dollar amount or a certain percentage of your check directly deposited into your savings account, and then the rest go into your checking account. I like to call the checking account an operations account, so that's where you pay everything from, so that way they're totally separate. So Cameron, tell us, anything else that you want to tell folks that are in the 8th grade about to graduate? Because I know there's 8th grade activities, there's graduation. How are you doing with that as it pertains to money? Do you have to pull out your savings, or is that where your mom is helping you take care of that stuff?
Definitely. So, so recently there was a trip to Washington D.C. in the 8th grade, and so they the 8th grade went to Washington D.C. And a lot of people were telling me, you know, when they got back, they were like, "Oh yeah, we had to pay for our own food," and you know, we went to the zoo, we went to different places where you can buy things, and they were telling me, "Oh yeah, like I did not have enough money. Like I spent all of this in one place, and then I didn't have any
plan
more."
it out, right? Yes.
And so I was like, "Well, you knew you were going on the trip, so you know."
Why did you plan accordingly?
And there were these I remember in the book club you gave us these envelopes where you gave us
yes.
there were envelopes where you would put money in it, and then you would put different amounts for where you would want to put it. So the envelope would say either food and then drinks and, you know, different things, sneakers, things like that. And so, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, okay, well, next time I won't do this. And there's a trip coming up to, there's another trip we have, I forgot where to, but that's going to be $60. Now that's something I would want to take care of myself, you know.
Yeah.
$60, I'm pretty sure I have that in my savings account somewhere, so I would be willing to take, you know, the $60 out and ask my mom for, you know, extra spending cash so that I wouldn't have to take as much out
That's
of
right.
my savings.
Yes.
And so yeah, that's, you know.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing you say too, like for those of your friends that went on that trip, they probably just thought, okay, how much it costs to go on the trip?
Right,
or,
exactly.
I'm going to be there and kind of not realize or took into account that there's different places that they're going to, so they may want to spend a little bit here and a little bit here and there versus
right.
everything at one spot.
Exactly.
So that's great. And for you, same with you. Anything that you want to share about new people coming on, going into college, what they should consider, and if you didn't know it and you know it now, that you can share with those
Okay.
listening.
Let's see. I'd say, for one, don't be scared about going to college. It's going to be fine. It's going to work out. They're there to help you out. They want you to have a great experience. So that's the first thing. I'd also say, sort of just going back to valuing your money and the hard work you put to earn it. Also value your time. So that goes for just relationships, you know, because you can't always be with them or do the same things they do, because a lot of my friends, they like to get up late and stay up late, and I personally can't. So I try and get myself to do that, but I'm like, I had to learn how to sort of realize I need to separate myself from them sometimes, so that way I can still do well with academics, which is what I'm there for first and foremost. So say, just like you value your money, you should also value your time.
Yes, yes, love that, love that. So, so whose money is it?
My
my
money.
money.
Yes, high fives for everybody. Give me a high five. So, you heard it. You have two wonderful young people, one in middle school going on to high school, one that's graduated from high school, about to finish her first year in college, that no matter the age, the whole point of this segment is, no matter the age, if you know better, you can do better. The famous Maya Angelou taught us that. So, no matter the age, if you are taught how to do well by your money, you will probably do well by your money. I wish I was taught this when I was younger, and hence it's my mission to ensure that I teach young people that I have the opportunity to come across how to do well by their money. So the famous Maya Angelou said, when you know better, you do better, and that's what you're seeing demonstrated by both Cameron and Amaya. They are both in different ages, from different schools, and they happen to use the same bank. And Windsor Federal, thank you Windsor Federal for being there for our young people. But you see, they have different experiences and different stories that contribute to how they're doing with their money. And both learned from me, but both walked away with different things, and that's great. And utilizing them and executing on them in their current worlds. So I appreciate you again for tuning in to another episode of It's My Money. So Cam, one lasting word one lasting statement before we go?
Save your money, and save your money.
Love it. And you, Amaya?
See, thank you guys for listening. Those are going to college, once again, you can do it. Yeah, it's my money.
Yes. And then my lasting word is always pay yourself first. No matter how much money you get in as your income, always pay yourself first. Do it, and if you can automate it, make sure it's automated. So again, this is Patrina Dixon, your favorite money coach. Thank you for tuning in to It's My Money. You can always find me on my socials at It's My Money _, that's ITSMYMONEY _, or you can find me on Facebook at It's My Money Journal.